The African Development Bank has launched the 2020 edition of its African Economic Outlook report on Thursday. The theme for this year's report is Developing Africa's Workforce for the Future. The annual publication highlights economic prospects and the projections for the continent for each of the 54 countries. Details of that in this report.
During the launch of the 2020 Africa Economic Outlook report, the Africa Development Bank president said that the report would provide short and medium-term forecast on major economic indicators in Africa, such as growth, poverty and employment.
The growth rate varies greatly among several African countries. In Côte d'Ivoire, the government has made a great effort because the growth rate is 7.4%. But there are other African countries with very low growth rates. It is therefore necessary to work on regional integration so that all African countries can participate in the growth of the continent.
The report also flagged the need for reforms in the education sector so as to boost capacity among youth seeking employment.
Africa has to invest more in human capital. That means we have to do more for education. We have to do more for skills so our young people can have the capacity to be able to get jobs. And we also have to look that we do what Africa 2063, and we have to follow the guidelines there so that all of our countries can do better.
The lowest and the highest poverty rates in Africa were not revealed at this meeting. However, the Africa Development Bank president emphasized that Africa's economic outlook continues to improve.
Growth is indeed something very important, but in reality, the population cannot feed off the GDP. It is therefore necessary to increase the number of people who have access to medical care, education, different financing, employment, etc. So in other words, African governments must work to ensure that growth goes hand in hand with improving the quality of life of the population.
If we have to attain Objective 2030 of the UN, if we have to attain the AU's Agenda of 2063, the 4 key areas that we have to focus on: we have to finance African female-owned businesses. We also have to invest in the digital space because the internet is worth in our hands, depends on how we use it. You know, we have to digitalize our economies, our educational system, digitalize, the financial sector. And then we also have to invest in infrastructure. We cannot be talking on improving education when we don't have proper school setups, we don't have viable teachers that can actually transmit the skills to the Africa's workforce that we want to prepare against 2030. And then the last thing is we need political stability in order for us to check all these boxes.
Every year, about 12 million young graduates leave African universities with no job prospects. To address this, the Africa Development Bank has launched an employment promotion initiative to support the creation of 25 million jobs over the next 10 years in Africa.
Well, we hope that is attainable, and if definitely it happens, that will be something. Well, Africa economic improving and all that, but Julde, African Development Bank looks like ñu ngi pare pour dimbale 54 countries yep pour ñu improve te president bi neena economy baa ngi improve, but listening to this lady li mu wax secteur yi ñu war a dooleel su fekkee ne dañ bëgg a improve African economy bi, and tamit nit ñi feel ko nekkul di wax rek oote ay meeting am dialogues and whatever, giving out reports and projections, loolu leena la waaye the impact in the nations and its people foog naa ne tamit loolu is more of the most important thing, I guess. To lan nga gisee li nga xamante ne mooy ndaje bi ci report bi.
Comme wax nga ko yëpp, ndaje bi is a welcome one because Africans léegi come up with such initiative, talk ñu ne kaay ñu wax things that are affecting us in our various countries pour ñu xool a way forward. I think that is really good, but comme noo ko waxee rek, African bi dafa very good when it comes to project designing, policy writing and everything, but while African bi rek mu implement idea boom am, it's another problem. It takes the person like decades bala mo def lolu, and that goes down to our governments. Like government bi su ñëwee mu ne la ne policies yi lañ am, programs yi lañ am for the people, you be like wow. I mean, you know, Africa will still soon be in heaven. But few years down the line, that dream tends to die because one is either people don't make a follow-up to that. Two, African policymakers don't even make a promise to the people, which I think is very serious and which is setting Africa backward instead of forward. African be resources. When it comes to natural resources, we have it here. We have the expertise also.
Yeah, that's why everybody's running not to
I mean, are Africans really ready to take up ownership of their own stuff, of their country, of their development, of their future? These are the things because it's very sad. Africa is one of the richest continent in the world,
and yet still,
ironically, it's one of the poorest continent in the world. I mean, it's sad. Why these proactive measures Africans should go back to Africa and you have Africa lañ jóge te fofu rek lañ mëna develop. That is their home and they should be proud of home. And really dañ wara come together. We have great initiative like the free continent African continental free trade movement or agreement. All these things are great initiatives, but whether it will happen, that is the question.
Yeah, talking about the ECO, sadly Gambia is not ready for that yet.
Really?
And anyway, but we're talking about economy. So su ko defé lolu yep fokk na ci la bokka because former Liberian president gis nga ko Ellen Johnson Sirleaf he was there mom tam mu ci don wax yoyu, but mom xamna yef yi nakala it's one way to talk but it's another thing to implement.
Seriously?
Yeah.